Okay, moving on with example 8. The diagram shows three towns A, B and C. C is equidistant from A and B. What is equidistant? It means it is of equal distance from A and B. So this side and this side, AC and BC are the same length. Okay, the bearing of C from A is 135. So from A, meaning you draw your north at A, then you go clockwise until you hit line AC. This angle is 135 degrees, and angle BAC is just 65 degree. So this is 65 degree. Okay, calculate the reflex angle ACB. Reflex means it is not obtuse, it is different from obtuse. Don't confuse the two. Obtuse is more than 90, less than 180, but reflex is more than 180 already. So when they say reflex angle ACB, they don't refer to this angle, the acute angle, they refer to this big angle here. Okay, so how do you find that? Oh, this one I don't need to draw an arrow. I'll just draw the whole angle like that. Reflex angle ACB. Okay, how do I find that? Now I know that this is an isosceles triangle ACB. So if this is 65 degree, this angle is also 65 degree. Hence, I want to find the acute angle ACB first. Okay, so I'll go and find the acute angle ACB, which is basically 180 minus 2 times of 65, because it's an isosceles triangle, and I'll get 50 degree. So that's angle sum of an isosceles triangle. Okay, so to find the reflex angle, I'll just take 360 minus 50. And I'll get 310 degrees, which is the reason being angles at a point. Very good. That's for part A. Okay, part B says find the bearing of A from C. So A is here, and the North Pole is already drawn for you at C. Let me just erase all this. Okay, I want to find the bearing of A from C. So from C, I go all the way clockwise until I hit line CA. Okay? So at this point, if I want to find this angle, right, I realize that this angle here can easily be found because 135 and this shaded angle here should add up to 180 because of interior angles. So in order for me to basically call this angle in an easy way, right, I will just label this as N1, N2, and N3, North 1, North 2, and North 3, and then I can easily call this angle like AC N3. So I'm going to find angle AC N3 first by taking 180 minus 135 to get 45 degrees. And the reason is because of the interior angles. Alright, and then I want to find, therefore, bearing of A from C will be equals to 360 minus this 45 degree here. And the answer is 315. Write your reasons, angles at a point. Okay, 315 degrees. Okay, last question says bearing of A from B. So from B here, I want to find the bearing of A. So I go clockwise. Draw your north at B, go clockwise until you hit AB. This is the angle you want to find. Okay, so what can you do? You can either find this BAN2, you can find this angle here, and then you take 180 minus that angle to find N1BA. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm going to take 360 minus 135 minus 65 to get this green shaded angle there at point A. Okay, so BA and 2 equals to 360 minus 135 minus 65 press calculator. I get 160 because of angles at a point. And therefore, bearing of A from B, which is this angle here, will be 180 minus 160. Bearing of A from B is equal to 180 minus 160. Now remember, it's bearing, so I cannot just write 20. I must write 0 to 0 degree. Okay, and the reason is interior angles. Nice. So this is how your whole question looks like. Okay, every time you do the question, as long as it's a bearing question, please make sure your final answer is to 3 digits. Okay, and if there is a decimal point, of course to 1 dp. Okay, next question, example 9. Before I give you your textbook question, a ship sails 8 kilometers from P to Q over here. It then sails 5 kilometers from Q to R on a bearing of 75 degrees, 075 degrees. Okay, so where is the 075 degrees? It's actually over here, right? This is the bearing of 075 degrees. So given that PQR is 136 degrees, this angle here, calculate the bearing of Q from P. Q from P. That means you have to draw your north at P. Use a ruler and then you go from this north line all the way until you hit PQ in a clockwise direction. So how do you find this angle? This angle, basically you take 360 to find 360 degree minus 075 minus 136 to find this angle here, right? Then you can take 180 minus that angle to find this bearing of Q from P. So once again, I'm going to call this the N1, North 1, and N2, so it's easy for us to label the angles. N1QP, this angle here, okay, will be 360 minus 75 minus 136. So the answer is 149. And the reason is angles at a point. Okay, so if I want to find this angle here, which is bearing of Q from P, I will just take 180 minus 149, which is 31 degrees, but I will write it as 031. And the reason is interior angles. Okay, part 1 done. Part 2, find the distance PR. You have to draw a dotted line from P to R. They want you to find PR. Now, given that you know PQ to be 8 kilometers and QR to be 5 kilometers, and you know the angle in the middle is 136, but you want to find the opposite side, which is PR, remember, you can use cosine rule. Okay, you have 2 sides and the angle in between, right? So using cosine rule, you will just sub in the appropriate values like this. PR squared is equal to 8 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 times 8 times 5 times cosine 136. We press calculator. 8 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 times 8 times 5 times cosine 136. You will get 146.54. 146.54 dot 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 to 5 SF, and then you are going to take square root to find PR. So when you take the square root, you will get this. (12.1 kilometer to 3SF, but if you want to write the 5SF first, it's 12.105, and then you write to 3SF with the units. Is it cm? Of course it's not cm, right? It's km. Yeah, it's km, 12.1 km to 3SF. Okay? Alright. Now next. Now you can add this also. Since PR more than 0, that's why you only take the positive square root. Okay, next. The ship finally sails from R to a position T, which is due north of Q. So T is somewhere here along the north from Q. And they say given that QTR is 40, calculate distance RT. So there's some weird T over here along the north line, and they say QTR is 40. So this angle here is 40. They want you to calculate the distance RT. Okay. Now this is not a right angle triangle. This angle is 75 over here. This is 40 over here. And you probably can find this angle here. But you want to find, you only know this side QR to be 5 kilometer. You don't know what is RT. So you can use sine rule for this one. Okay, RT, let me redraw the triangle. So I redrew the triangle from above and I get this. 40 degree here, 75 degree here. I want to find RT. I use sine rule. RT over sine 75 is equal to 5 over sine 40. So for RT, I will get 7.5135 to 5SF. But I will just write the final answer to 3SF. So that's 7.51 km. Very nice. Okay, now moving on to the last part. This is actually quite a long question, but you have to do it step by step. The last part is the shortest distance between the point Q and the ship as it sails from R to T. So now the ship is sailing from R to T. I can just use this triangle. And they ask for the shortest distance from Q. Okay, recall that the shortest distance is always the perpendicular distance. So if this is the perpendicular distance, how do I find this perpendicular distance? Okay, now I'm going to label this foot of the perpendicular here G. Okay, therefore QG is the shortest distance, right? And I want to find the length of QG. Now to do that, I need this angle here. Why? Because I'm looking at the right angle triangle QGR. Okay, because I only have this side, the hypotenuse, which is 5 kilometer, right? So using QGR and the angle here and the 5 kilometer, I can easily find QG. So my working will be like this. QRG is equals to 180 minus 40 minus 75. So it's 65 degrees, which is angle sum of triangle. And hence, since this is 65 degree here, I will just need to find QG by doing this. Sine 65 degree equals to opposite over hypotenuse. Therefore, QG is equals to 5 sine 65 degree, which is equals to 4.53 kilometers to 3SF. 4.53 km to 3SF. And you're done with this long question. Alright, for your homework, I want you to do just one question, which is going to be question 13 of your exercise 7B. Okay, so question 13 here. Please complete this and upload on Google Classroom. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.